What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video, where we are showing you 3 top Town Hall 9 attack strategies. Now, these are to help you get the 3-star easily. There are other strategies, but these ones work very, very well. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for all of my videos. Now, the first one that we are bringing you is the Mass Dragon Attack Strategy. I have done guides on this previously. Be sure to search it on my channel if you want to see a little bit more in depth, but essentially you are using lightning spells to take out one of the air defense, 2 of them if they are close together, and suicide heroes. Often if you've taken out 2, you can go for a 3rd air defense with the heroes. In this one it didn't quite work out in terms of taking the air defense down the bottom, but that is how strong this attack strategy is. If you can target the dragons onto an air defense, then it will go down relatively easily, and you also have a LavaLoon portion for the back end. So the dragons now come in from the south. Notice how you can take 1 bat spell right now at Town Hall 9, obviously in your CC. It's fantastic for taking out the air defense, distracting it at that. Then on the back end, we have the LavaLoon. Now the aim is to get that LavaLoon in quick enough that it does protect the dragons, but you don't want it in too quick that it's then vulnerable. It's a little bit in terms of getting the timing, and the reason I put this attack strategy in the 3 easy Town Hall 9 attacks. I say easy, but this one's a bit more planning involved, but it's that, you know, when you start looking at LavaLoon, you've got to be very surgical at your deployment. There are strategies that you can get away with if you select the correct bases, and in terms of the dragons and this one, as long as you select bases where you can take out the air defense and strategically get the dragons in where the air sweepers aren't going to give you too much of an issue, the actual deployment of the troops is not too bad. It's really more the critical thinking in terms of getting the correct base. As you can see, once you've carved that path and you've got the dragons into the base, they can wreck from there. It's really not too much of an issue. It's more trying to target the defenses that will harm your dragons, and once you've done that, you're golden. You're going to get the 3 stars, guys. Now, each of these attacks are by White Temple in their CWL match against Violent Wizards. GG to Violent Wizards. They did indeed get the victory on this one. Again, if you're interested in joining White Temple, their Discord server is always down in the description for any videos I cover for them. Moving on to the second attack strategy, though. This one, the Hog Riders, it's not as bad as LavaLoon in that of Town Hall 9. Sometimes you can be a bit more surgical, but a lot of the time, if you get that kill squad correct, you can indeed bring the Hog Riders in with more of a mass deployment instead of very surgical like the LavaLoon. Now in this case, we are coming in from the left-hand side of the base, take out that Tesla farm by the Town Hall. Once we've taken out the CC as well, that is definitely going to help the Hog Riders. Obviously, if you can take out some key objectives in that of the CC, in that of some of the defenses, then you are golden. We weren't quite pushing in towards the Queen, but once the Hog Riders come in and we've got that heal spell in the area, you can actually sacrifice a couple of the hogs, and that's exactly what Raj did here. He brought in the Hog Riders, allowed the enemy queen to attack the hogs, and that meant that his skeleton spells, when they were deployed, were easily able to take down that queen. Now that's something that you have to think about. It's getting a balance in terms of when you bring the troops in, you don't want to miss the queen, so losing a hog or 2, it's often worth it. Same with your LavaLoon. It's often worth it to wait until the queen is static in an area, shooting up at the balloon, so that when you bring your skeleton spell in, she's not going to jump over a wall or anything like that. And that's it. Hog Riders, once you've got that kill squad in, you can circle around the base nicely. We do have another Hog Rider attack, which we will show you, but we will move on to the 3rd attack strategy once this one wraps up. So again, with the Hog Riders, you have to make sure that you are putting in the kill squad behind the cleanup squad, behind the Hog Riders. You do not want to miss out because of time. Now you guys expected it. When we advertised this video as 3 of the easier Town Hall 9 strategies, you guys knew witches were going to be in there. They have been dominant. They're still dominant. At Town Hall 9, the variety is there. You can use a wide variety of troops and strategies, but the witches will always be one of them strategies that can bulldozer Town Hall 9. And here it is. What you basically want to do is use the witches across either side, and you're trying to sweep from one side of the base to the other. As long as you can jump through the base easily and you can get your bowlers and heroes in there, then you are going to be pretty good. So 2 jump spells, a rage and a heal is normally exactly what you need. As you can see, they press through here and they are going to be able to access the whole base with the jump spells. Now you don't have to stick with that spell composition. I said a rage and a heal. It's not a necessity. You can obviously move around depending on the base that you want to hit, but in general, if you take 2 jump spells, a rage, a heal and a poison spell, you're going to be pretty good. You do have to take note of the defenses on the outside of the base. Perhaps you've got a scout already. If you know the witches are going to be okay on the outside of the base, then that is beautiful. If the air defense are positioned more centrally in the base, you might actually be able to take some healers in order to keep the witches alive. In the examples of this video, we will show you the golems. So essentially you send a golem down either side to try and tank, one of them into the middle as well if you wish. All depends on, you know, how you want to go about things, depends on the positioning of the defenses themselves. But in general, it's pretty easy, guys. You should be able to have the standard golem, witches, and the heroes and bowlers through the middle with just 1 or 2 witches to help out as well. Moving through to the final few, then actually what we'll do, because this is another witch attack, we'll move to base number 25, just skip it up a little bit. Hog Riders it is, then we'll go to that final witch attack. So with the Hog Riders then, you want to take in the golems, just like you did with that witch attack, but you do want to try and have a little bit of a kill squad set up here, guys. So once you've set up your funnel, that can be done as effectively as you wish. It might be as easy as a minion or a wizard or a baby dragon, a mixture of them all. You want to try and think about what is the most efficient way to make that funnel. If you can snipe a defense while you're at it, that's perfect, kind of like what the baby dragon helped to do there. But often you can use less amount of troops than what you were planning to, if that makes sense. Just try and think about the amount of troops you're committing. From there, it's really trying to set up where you want to enter the base. So in this example, using the jump spell gives us access to not only the CC, but you can see that the enemy queen is also down. If you can get any splash damage at the same time, that is massive. So the balloon is just about to move up and take down the final wizard tower. I mean, you look at this base now. How on earth are Hog Riders not going to survive in this? We do very nicely target the expo here, because when you have these big compartments with the expo, it can kind of split your Hog Riders up. You don't want your hogs getting split up. You want to try and condense where they are so that your heals are more effective. As you can see right here, all of the Hog Riders are inside that heal. So you don't necessarily want one pack of Hog Riders moving off and another pack moving to another area. You want to condense the fire, not to mention that within them areas where the expo is, there's often giant bombs as well. Moving to the end of the raid then, again, it's easy peasy in terms of finishing this off. The Hog Riders have enough in terms of helping to clean up, but again, we've got some wizards in there. If you can keep your queen alive, she will help to do this as well. And again, Hog Riders, it is a bit more strategical than the witches, I would say, but it's certainly not quite as bad as the LavaLoon. LavaLoon, you do have to be a bit more surgical, and whilst it's, in my opinion, better than the Hog Riders, especially at Town Hall 9, I honestly think you could take any Town Hall 9 base with LavaLoon, as long as you attacked from the correct area. It might not take, you might not get it first try, but I think you could take down pretty much any base, in my opinion. Moving on to the last one then, again, it's really being patient with the witches, but not too patient. So what you saw there was a golem on either side, exactly what we said before. Again, this is kind of standard stuff for the witches. I'm giving you these armies, branding it as kind of the 3 easier attack strategies, because you really don't have to mix up the composition too much. We had a golem on either side, followed by the witches, and we kind of had to wait until the funnel was started to be created, and then get the troops in the middle. We didn't have to wait too long, but you just have to wait that couple of seconds, allow the odd building to go down, just so you've kind of started creating that funnel, and then it can continue to get created. But if you start from the outside, take out the buildings, you're kind of leaving breadcrumbs in the middle, if that makes sense, to draw the troops in. It's not just about clearing buildings on the outside, it's leaving buildings for your troops in the middle to come through. Again, the jump spells here provided access into that initial compartment and then right the way through into the middle of the base. You don't necessarily have to get right the way through to that final layer, because you will have witches coming around the outside. You will have the queen, which is able to reach through, so you will be able to reach them defenses from that. So I hope this video has helped you out. Haven't really brought you guys any Town Hall 9 content, you know, I can't even remember. It's been months, essentially. With Town Hall 12, Town Hall 9 has kind of dropped out of the top leagues of CWL, but they still do have it in some of them. As you can see, White Temple getting it done there. Wanted to bring you those attacks because there was some very nice examples of some strategies I think will help you. So that is going to wrap it up. Until next time, peace out.